So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a 25-year-old single father, and my daughter actually just turned 4. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you for applauding all the horrible decisions I made in college. I learned 2 very important things in college. 1, girls who smoke pot sometimes don't make you wear condoms. It's funny because it's true. And 2, the pill isn't actually 100% effective if she never actually takes it. It's funny the things you take away from college, isn't it? My daughter actually did just turn 4. It's really cool. You know what amazes me about that? I've been her father for 4 years now. And in that time, she hasn't died. Like, that is amazing. If you had known me back in the day when I was raising a Furby, you'd be flabbergasted. Because that bastard didn't make it. He went the way of Old Yeller. Which is to say, I lit him on fire. With a firecracker in his mouth. You don't even want to know what happened to my Tamagotchi pet. Oh, the 90s. Being a parent is mostly pretty cool. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, for my daughter's 4th birthday, I signed her up for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes. That's awesome. But sometimes it's not so cool, in really weird and unpredictable ways. Like, there's no way that anyone could have warned me that Father's Day 2010, my daughter would wake me up by running into my bedroom and going, "Look, Daddy, I pooped." You just don't see that shit coming. And you have really weird conversations when you're a parent. Like, me and my daughter, we've got this ongoing joke that she's getting too big, so I'm gonna shrink her, and she goes, "No," and it's fucking adorable. Anyway, we were doing that a while back, and I was like, "I'm gonna shrink you, little girl, you're getting too big." And she goes, "No, don't shrink me." And I say, "I'm gonna do it." And she says, "No, don't shrink me." And I say, "I'm gonna." And she goes, "Daddy, if you shrink me, I'm gonna cut your face off while you sleep." And I didn't have a response to that ready to go. So I just kind of stood there, reevaluating some shit. Like where we keep the knives. And signing her up for a deadly form of martial arts. And she kind of noticed that, like, she had rattled me, and she gets this look in her eyes like, "I'm winning." So she gets really cute and goes, "Oh, do you not want me to cut your face off while you sleep?" To which I respond, "No." At which point she leans in and whispers, like a little mafioso, "Then you don't want to shrink me." Do you? And that was the end of the conversation. Because so far in my life, I have been unsuccessful in my attempts to locate a parenting book with a chapter entitled, "What to Do When Your 4-Year-Old Threatens to Motherfucking Cut You." Now, the whole shrinking thing has actually turned into a very elaborate game in which I can shrink her, but I need to make her immobile for a whole 30 or 60 seconds. Now, what this basically adds up to is me chasing her around the house, carrying 25 feet of white nylon rope, trying to tie her up. Now, I know that raises some questions, like, how did the rope come into play? Or, why do you own 25 feet of white nylon rope? And I wish I had an answer to those questions, but I don't. So anyway, we were playing the other day, and I decided I was actually going to shrink her. So I tied her up, And I shrunk her like I told her, oh my God, I actually shrunk you, I didn't think I could do that. She cried for 20 minutes. Now, I probably should have been comforting her, but at that point I was committed, so I was like, we're gonna have to go to the doctor, you're gonna need a shot. There's no way Obamacare is gonna cover this. And I finally comforted her and I gave her an apple, and the apple made her grow to her normal size. And I put her on my lap and I was hugging her and cuddling her and I said, I'm sorry, sweetie. You really didn't like it when I shrunk you, did you? She goes, no. And I said, as I squeezed her extra tight, then you probably shouldn't threaten to cut me, should you? That's my time. Thank you very much. I've been Randy. You guys have been great.
I'm not married, obviously, but I'm basically single. I went on a date once, and I kind of screwed that one up. Like, the girl was very inquisitive, but like when she's like, yeah, how many girls have you slept with? And I'm like, you know, I might be off by 1 or 2, but -2? And then she was like, yeah, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, I study symplectic transvections and the groups generated by the symplectic transvections on graphs and the equivalence relations generated by those groups. And she's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, it means you're too pretty to be here. As you can tell by my disheveled appearance and strange manner of speaking, I'm a huge fan of mathematics. I love math, but I don't think I can explain to like normal people, like you people, why I like math. And the best I've come up with is that the thrill I get from like solving a problem in math is the same thrill that a normal person would get from never having to do that. I can't. The only thing that relates to math and like culturally is the Big Bang Theory, and I hate that show because there's unfair stereotypes for people like math and science. Like, I love math and science. I know that no one who loves math and science has more than 3 friends. It's just not true. And those of you who don't laughing clearly don't know anyone in math and science because they're inside right now. People say math's not useful. I like to argue with them. Like, let me tell you a story. Once I was at a party and this girl came up to me and goes, Tom, it's getting late. Walk in my car. I don't want to be raped. Like, I didn't want to walk her to her car, so I used math and statistics to get out of it. And I said, you know, statistically, you're less likely to be raped if you walk to your car alone than if you walk to your car with me.
I recently just celebrated 2 years of sobriety, no drugs, no alcohol. Yeah. According to this guy, it sucks. Actually, it's okay. It's alright.
You must be high.
No, sir, since I'm sober for 2 years, I can't be high. Apparently high schools in Sparta don't treat jack shit. But I gotta tell you, I did it for all the wrong reasons. I did it for a woman. I did. And if anybody in here is in recovery, and judging by your drunken faces, no one is but me, you never do it for another person, you do it for yourself. But I did it for a woman. I met a woman. She was wonderful. She was my age, had a great job, held a position of power, you know. Saw her on multiple dates. Always polite to her. Called her ma'am. She liked ma'am. She did. Things are going real well, and that's why it hurt real hard when she sentenced me to 16 months. You look lost, sir. She was the judge that sentenced me. 16 months. I went to prison, folks. Prison. I know. You're thinking, Steve, how the fuck could you have gone to prison? You look like such a well-adjusted individual. Even temperament, you love people. I'm going to tell you guys that Michigan, if you guys don't know it, has laws about drinking and driving. Anything over 4 but less than 6, you're doing time. It's 5, sir. I have 5 of them. You fucking laugh at my pain. I laugh at your hair. I recently got paroled. They sent me to Ionia. Any of you guys ever been to Ionia? The whole fucking city's a prison. It's the industry there. Prison and Little Caesars. That's it. Probably an auto parts store. Don't know. But I'm out now and I'm adjusting well, as you can tell. It's nice. I can sit at home. I don't have a time limit on how long it takes to eat now. I don't have guards with tasers telling me to hurry up, boy. Because that's how they all talk. And I know now what it feels like to be called boy. I empathize with you, sir. I do. I don't have to worry about guys from Detroit trying to reach over me and steal my fruit cup now. That's nice. That's nice. I can walk the yard without having to worry about people trying to slide things into my prison wallet. You look confused? Prison wallet is your asshole. And these things happen in prison. Not to me, and that's how I'm dying with it. Alright? I can also masturbate in the shower without having 5 guys watch me. That is a plus. It is. Especially black guys, because I feel so inferior next to them, you know? You guys have really big calves. They do. Google it. Extra muscle, they can jump higher. I didn't make the law. Go to Downers Grove, Jesus will tell you. But it's nice to be out, it's good, I'm happy. I'm happy as hell to be out. I can't think about going back. So I get to spend time now. I moved back to Grand Rapids because my daughter's over here. Anybody with kids? Yeah. One guy and a couple smatterings, a couple guys. I think I do. I don't know. I wore a condom. One should. Maybe. Plan B, C, D, and F. I don't fucking know. My daughter's 10. She's a little bit of a geek. She likes her computer. She likes my computer. She's going through my computer the other day, and like since I've been back, I've been taking a lot of pictures. I mean, I don't have a camera tonight because I wasn't expecting to do much, but I take pictures so I can remember things, you know, because you want to cherish those good times. And she comes across a picture I have on my computer of Jennifer Aniston. So I use it as a screensaver. She looks at me and she's like, "Daddy, why do you have Rachel from Friends on your computer?" And I said to her, I said, "Well, honey," I said, "Dad thinks she's kind of cute. I got a little bit of a crush on her, right?" And she looks at me with those beautiful 10-year-old eyes and says, "Not gonna happen, bud." It was at that point that I told her that the baby that her mom miscarried was my favorite. Don't you fucking groan at that. You gotta keep these 10-year-olds down. You don't let them get the upper hand. You don't. Running the world soon. We don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying, dude? This is a weird mix at the front table, in case you guys don't. It's Bob Marley, Flock of Seagulls, and the Road Crew. What the fuck? That's how you guys roll in Sparta, for real? Are you from Sparta? Where are you from? You got a knife, fuck. I'm not saying that because he's from Grand Rapids, I'm saying that because he's black. Oh, he's Puerto Rican. Fuck, it's not even a knife, it's a broken bottle at this point. But, folks, that's my time. I'm Steve Pierce. Have fun.
How you doing? You from around here? Sorry to bug you. Just wondering how far I gotta follow you home later. I'll see you later. You will not see me. Gotten very good at hiding. Elementary school. Learn cursive. No. Hiding. I did good. This is great. How you doing, sir? I know he picked on you already, but what the fuck did your dad do to you? Sorry. My dad fucked me up too. Yeah. My dad used to beat me. at Checkers. Checkers was the name of his favorite bar. The only thing they served were knuckle sandwiches. So, that was interesting, that's for sure. I was the first male in my family to go to college, which I didn't sit well with my father. He wasn't too impressed. When I told him, he got all, yes, right, what are you going to major in, fagriculture? I was like, A, I don't think that exists, not an option. B, what would that even be? He said, planting dicks and asses. So, are you sure you didn't go to college, Dad? That was pretty fucking clever. So, that was good. That's great. You guys, I have IBS. Which, if any of you were in the bathroom, I was the one crying. So was my butthole. But having IBS stands for irritable bowel syndrome, and it makes every fart a gamble. Which is lovely. But really having IBS is like my bee-hole is a leaky dam. And now, all I gotta do is find a little Dutch boy to put his finger in it. I'll be all set. Those of you not laughing should read more. Little Dutch boy, finger in my butt. How you doing? Welcome to my life. You're front row seat for it. I was sniffing some undies the other day. They were my own, okay? Seeing if I could wear them again another day. Don't act like you haven't been there. Okay? Instead of finding an answer, I found pink eye. It's fucking unbelievable. I gotta say, unlike most other guys, it doesn't really bother me when girls take too long to get ready. Because honestly, I'm just happy they haven't noticed I'm in their apartment yet. Yeah. Hiding. It's coming back. Fuck learning how to write a check. You guys ever walk in on someone eating pussy, and then you're like, hey, are you gonna finish up? Just curious. It looks like a happy meal. I was not really entirely sure. Back in the summer of 1999, my stepfather unearthed the cache of porn I had in my bedroom, which kind of bummed me out. Thought it was a good hiding place, but apparently underneath the mattress has been done before. Upset. But he sat me down for that all too familiar talk. He said, Jacob, I just want you to know the dangers of what you're looking at and what you're watching. Porn sets unrealistic expectations. For example, it took me way more than 3 minutes to talk your mother into anal. What it took was love, trust, and tequila. Mostly the tequila, now that I think about it. I wasn't out of porn for too long, though, because I came up with this brilliant plan when I was younger that anytime I was out of porn, I would just go to my father, my real father, and I'd tell him that I thought I had a crush on a boy at school, and he'd buy me all the porn I needed. How do you feel now, son? How do you feel now? Is this one? And I was like, well, there's no penetration. Let me see try something a little different. Yeah, Dad, I'm gay. Gay for porn. Come on. I had a buddy come up to me the other day, and he said that his girlfriend referred to him as dynamite in the sack, which is a cool analogy, you know? Never had a girl use it on me. I feel like if they did, it'd be something more like maybe like a sparkler. So, maybe like those charcoal snakes that just peter out. Or like those trick birthday candles that won't go out no matter how hard you blow them, you know? Really, I think I'd be more like a bottle rocket, which sounds weird, but I do this crazy thing when I climax where I go, eee! So, it's a thing I do when I come, you guys. Ladies, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. Well, I did you. So other here's to that. Orgasms are weird, huh? You know, it's rumored in the science community that pigs have 30-minute orgasms. Have you heard this? Yeah, crazy, right? But it would help explain Porky's speech impediment. Right? I'd stutter too if I was coming 30 minutes at a time.
Bleep, 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 well, that's all, folks. Can we take a minute? I can't stop coming. Ejaculating. Oh, sweet Christ. Thank God I don't wear pants. That's all I'm going to say. I think I'm going to end you guys on this one. I was walking on the street the other day. I saw this Chinese woman pushing her baby down the sidewalk in a stroller. She wasn't just like shoving her baby down the asphalt. It'd be very rude. But in passing, the baby looked up at me and said, word for word. Completely word for word. So I looked at the mom and I was like, oh, that's cute. What did she say? The mom said, I don't know, she's a fucking baby. I was like, all right, lady, you don't need to be rude just because you don't speak Chinese. Thank you guys so much. My name is Jacob Kuban. Thanks for coming out and supporting Sunday Night Funnies. Give it up for Brian.
Hello, my name is Justin Covington. Fun fact about me, comedy is not my first attempt at fame. When I was younger, I used to be a child actor. I was an extra in Save the Children commercials. You wouldn't believe the pressure to be thin. Are there a lot of baseball fans in the audience here tonight? Baseball fans? I hate baseball, mostly because it's an aggressively boring, nostalgia-based sport. I say this because I moved from Chicago about 2 years ago, and like as you know, Chicago has 2 baseball teams, which in my opinion is 2 more baseball teams than any city needs. Like the most baseball that any city needs is like a framed jersey and an Applebee's. That's it. But like I say this because I went to a Cubs-Tigers game at Wrigley, and it was really like one of the most boring experiences of my life. Like, you know your sport is boring when there's a period built in for stretching. Like that is built in for your safety. Don't get a blood clot. But like if I had to rank all the major sports from most boring to most exciting, I'd probably say baseball, basketball, football, the Hunger Games. I mean, I'm not saying I want to see teenagers kill each other, but if it's on TV, I'm definitely watching. But like, that's kind of an unfair comparison for me to make right now, because like, who could imagine a society that marginalizes a group of people and then makes it so that one of the only ways you can get out of that situation is to excel athletically in a nationally televised tournament? I couldn't imagine such a place. I don't really like going out to bars that often, mostly because everybody looks ridiculous when they're dancing at the bar. Like, they look silly. Like, I was talking to one of my friends when they were coming back from the dance area. I was like, man, you look ridiculous out there. And he's like, oh no, like I was kidding, like I was being ironic. And I think that's kind of like BS, because like nothing's ironic after a boner. Like a boner is the most sincere expression of wanting that exists. Like you wake up in the morning, you think, I want cereal, and your dick's like, I think otherwise. End up going to work all hungry and shit. Another reason I don't like going to the bar, I went to the bar for a friend's birthday in Detroit, and I was cashing out my tab at the end of the night, and the bartender asked me what my name is, and I said my name is Justin. And as like I'm signing out my check, he's like, you know, you're the first black Justin I've ever met. And like that's a weird thing to say to somebody, but I grew up in the suburbs, so I'm used to it. Like one time in elementary school, a kid asked me why this side of my hand is white and this side of my hand is black. And I said, all the single ladies, and he said, what? And I said, you'll get it in 2008. So I'm about to leave this bar, and when like this other guy who's like sitting there, he like jumps into the conversation. He's like, hey, what are you guys talking about? And the bartender's like, this is the first black Justin I've ever met. And then he pauses, he's like, you know what? Me too. And now I'm starting to get a little worried. Like these two went to some weird white supremacist summer camp where they had to go on a scavenger hunt. Like they had to find an Asian Kathy and a racially ambiguous Kyle. And that Black Justin is the most dangerous game of all. Which is ridiculous because I know how to catch Black Justin 100% of the time. All you need is a strong Wi-Fi signal and a baked potato and I will be there. Thank you, I've been Justin Covington.
I have a 22-year-old stepson. He likes to drink my Leininkugel's vanilla porter and replace it with a can of beer that turns colors when it gets cold. This is not a proper substitution. He drinks what I like to refer to as remedial beer. If one needs to look at a can and see that the mountains have turned blue, to figure out whether or not it's cold, you are a remedial drinker. There was a time that I enjoyed remedial beer. I enjoyed remedial beer because it was a tool, a means to an end. That was also at the time where I could pull off the casual puke. That time has passed. For those of you who aren't familiar with the casual puke, maybe it's been a long time. I see a lot of 20-somethings here in the crowd, maybe some Grand Valley students. Yeah. You're drunk on a Sunday, fuck off. They can pull off the casual puke. They can be in mid-conversation. I used to be able to do this. Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to win tonight, excuse me. So anyway, I really think they got a chance. And nobody in your circle of friends would really even blink. At the same time I could pull off the casual puke, I could be on a date and my date could casually puke. I'd still kiss her. Now I won't even go to bed with my wife unless she's brushed her teeth. No onions after 4, honey. You know what happens.